Hi, hello everyone. Welcome into That Sounds Gay. My name is Jer, and our gay sound of the day, presented by Jesse, is.
Nope.
Give her
Bailed.
another take.
No, that is.
Oh, that was the gay sound.
I feel like it's gay to like go for it and then bail halfway through. Like nope.
No, actually, you know what?
Uh,
I changed my mind. I am
nope.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Something like that. Like a.
I might put this here just because I feel like it's going to be safer.
Yeah, she's safe there on my
Yeah.
dusty little desk.
The bailing last minute is very gay, isn't it?
Wait, who?
Bailing last minute?
Bailing. I was like, who's Bailey?
Yeah, Bailey's gay. Sorry,
bailing
Bailey.
bailing last minute is extremely gay. Or even bailing
Extremely.
as it's happening.
Like, as you're walking up to the door.
They're like, no.
Actually.
Or like you're there and you're like, where are they? They left. You go through the door and you're like, wait, she was just next to me. What happened?
Have you ever been at an event? I'll take it out of sexual. A non-sexual event where you're like there and you walk through the doors and you're like, you know what? I don't know if I want this anymore. I think I'm gonna go. I don't think this is for me.
I've never, well, like socially, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'm like, nah, I'm not vibing.
I remember I drove out to a club one time and I was like fully ready to see some drag. And I got there and I walked through the doors and like the music was really loud. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to go to IHOP. And I think I like turned around and I like went to IHOP.
Okay, well, that was my entire college clubbing experience because I didn't dance in college.
Yeah.
And I really only went to support my friends who did drag, and I wasn't very good at even doing that because I had social anxiety. So I wasn't doing a great job supporting the dolls. But I would walk in, like I remember walking into Foo Bar, and it was just like bass bumping. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna get an Uber. But like even like more just like real life. I remember the last party I went to. It's okay because no one who went to that party is listening to this.
They're listening right now.
It was like more like obligation. I know them through partner. And it was like we thought it was their birthday, which was the only reason we even went. Oh, so we drive like an hour plus to go see them. There's in Covina.
Oh. Damn.
We drive, go see them. We get there, we realize it's not their birthday. I get to a point where I'm like, I basically tell them like, just, like I'm ready to leave whenever. And we like just walked in. It's been like 5 minutes. I was like, I'm ready
just
to go.
putting it out there. I know we just walked through the doors. I'm like good to go whenever you want to.
Yeah.
So if you want to leave, like now.
Once we like said hello, I was like, all right, I think I'm good.
Do you ever think about how there's a Covina and a West Covina?
I hate that.
Why are there two of them?
I think it's confusing to the non-Californians as well.
Right.
Because like they are also very different. Like Covina is a whole thing. West Covina is a very specific thing.
Right. I understand why there's like West Hollywood. Like I understand that. All the fags are there.
Well, yeah. But and that's what's funny too is like you'd think West Covina to Covina is what West Hollywood is to Hollywood, but it's not.
It's not.
They might as well be like different counties.
Right.
Like it's so weird.
Wild.
Also West Covina just makes me think of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever watched
No,
it.
I haven't.
West Covina.
Living my life.
California.
In West Covina. In San Bernardino. Welcome in, everybody. We're talking about Drag Race All-Star 7. We are finishing up our time in 7. Last week, we talked about some graduation speeches, sickening Y2K girl groups, including our favorite Y2K artist, Dolly Parton, some legendary legend looks, and Santa's School for Girls. For, I think both of us, Raja is completely that girl, week after week. I think so.
Week after week.
In the actual series, the series kind of took a hard left turn in episode 6, story-wise. So I'm excited to talk about more of that story as it's progressing into this week, because I feel like near the end of the season, it takes a hard veer back into the center and goes nowhere. That like Jinx Viv stuff goes nowhere. It's like done. Right now, we've swerved into Shay. Like, we started in the season with Shay, and now we swerve back into her. And she's like really stress pressed about not having
It's
wins.
the flip flopping of the storylines is kind of giving like they started a Sims challenge,
The 100 baby.
and then they get like a quarter, and they're like, is either is going to be unsuccessful or too much work.
Actually, I've decided to do Black Widow, and I'm just gonna kill every man in the Sims world.
Yeah.
Instead of having babies.
It's giving creating saves and then abandoning the save for a new
That's too
save.
real. I did that so many times. Just create a cute family and then leave.
I want to get back into The Sims.
Me as
I'm
well.
just so bad at it.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out how to get a pizza delivered, and I gave up. He was stuck at my driveway.
Oh no. I gotta get on that app and call up the Uber. Can you get a pizza here, please?
I got to get a task rabbit to move the pizza from the car to my house, the immobilized car.
My Sims stories were always so crazy. There was one character who was like kind of the villain of the entire universe, and someone upset her, so she ran over them with a car.
Fierce.
Yeah.
Love running people over with a car.
Jinx Monsoon got hit by a fucking car by RuPaul.
Come on, segue.
Come on, segue. So we're in episode 9, Dance Like a Drag Queen. Jada has learned about the plunger's fake secret. She's also leaning into that. And they're talking about how they shouldn't block Raja so that she won't know the secret. And Raja's losing her marbles about how she doesn't know the plunger secret. Because at this point, I think she's the only one who hasn't been blocked. So I think everyone's just like giggling and chilling at the couch. And Raja's just like, what is the secret? You all know something.
This is a storyline that pays off. And it's just like organic fucking with Roger.
Yeah.
But it's so funny.
I love it so
Because
much.
when we get to a next episode, it is so worth
Yeah.
them faking it for this long.
I love that they did it. When they're counting stars, Jada raises the plunger because they're all like, so how many stars do we have? Oh, I have 3, I have 2. And she goes, and there's also this. Just fully fucking with Raja. Like, Jada is so effortlessly funny.
Jada is the unspoken yes-ander.
Yes, and I love that. It's so wild that she's so bad at Snatch Game. Because she's really good at yes-anding.
Yeah, she's just one of those people where I think it's like, they're so funny that they don't realize they're funny. And when you think, and you're like, you're so funny, be funny. They're like, what?
Right. She needs to find someone who's more in line with who she is for Snatch Game. Maybe that's why her prince worked out so well. Because it was just silly and stupid. And that's Jada's essence, is just being silly and stupid. So this week, they've got to create a viral video challenge. Virality is not something you can really make. So I always get bothered by these challenges. It's like,
Well, and also like, I'm not on TikTok, but as far as I'm aware, it needs to have a popular, like, well, I mean, they're doing RuPaul songs. Sorry.
So it's
I'm
not
already
popular.
reading RuPaul. But
so it's
like,
not a good song.
But it just like, I don't know. Everything about it just doesn't really work with like actually how social media works. Like, because usually like, it just doesn't feel like a, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very like trying to pander
a little pandery.
And I mean, like, the ones who made the best of it made the best of it. Like, Monet did like an earnest, like probably the best like earnest interpretation of it, not trying to be funny. But even then, it is a little like mom trying to do it with the kids.
Totally.
Because I'm like, this is not really like how like these work.
Right. You kids keep me young vibes. Very that.
Or it's giving very like, no, this would be viral in like a movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is like the viral dance they do in the movie, and everyone's like, oh my god, yes.
The fact that it was vertical videos was also interesting because they didn't say TikTok, but it was a very clearly TikTok, Instagram Reels situation.
Rue talk.
TikPaul. I'm trying to like think of Rue talk
Tick
Paul.
Rue.
Tick Rue.
Oh my god, that's our next musical.
It-
TikTok reel.
I want to ask you before we get into these, who do you think of this group has the best branding? Because it's really about branding yourself on top of doing the virality video.
I would say Mona Shash.
Mm.
Just because she's already had multiple media outings with her branding, like the exchange rate and stuff like
Right.
that, I feel like she tries to like be pretty like marketable, commercial. Like
Yeah.
she's funny because she's one of those people where she herself is maybe not like commercial friendly, but she has a very commercial friendly version of herself that
Right.
she is always ready to switch into.
Yeah.
And always be like professional ready, like for the job,
Mhm.
for the Vine,
Yeah.
for the TikTok-roo.
She mentioned it maybe a week or the week before where she was talking about how she was the girl that's walking to the modeling agency who is not the one they're looking for, but she's going to get the job.
Yeah.
I feel like that's very Monet's just whole essence is like, this is maybe not the girl that you're looking for the part, but you want her to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. I think Shay's got a great visual brand.
Yeah.
And I think Evie has a great essence.
Yeah.
Just who she is being this weirdo freak who's doing drag a little bit different than everyone. I feel like that is so marketable.
Yeah.
Shay says that she is a classy woman who's equal parts bougie and banji. And I'm like, that really is such a perfect way to encapsulate who she is.
Yeah.
And I think those buzzwords are great that she knows that, because a lot of the other girls, when they're asked like, what's your brand, they're like, I wear wigs, I put on makeup,
she's a fashion girl.
she's fashion, right? Viv says that she's a housewife who turned to booze and pills and got sober, and she's like goes this whole entire crazy journey, and I'm like, okay,
Whole
work.
deep lore.
Right.
It's like
She had
this.
a D&D character written.
It's like this was like the direct to TV sequel of the movie that she was making in her head while she was filming the water commercial in the UK.
Right.
The I'm Drippin' woman. It's like this is like her Hurricane Bianca too.
Totally. It's so funny. I want to say that this episode makes me realize, in this whole season, but especially this one, makes me realize that Drag Race doesn't have to be cringe. It doesn't need to be.
PSA, Drag Race doesn't have to be cringe.
That's the episode title today. It does not have to be, because they show all these like quick B-roll shots of all of them like flubbing their lines, going like, okay, and today, blah, 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 blah. Okay, redo.
Yeah.
And it's just these quick like bloop, 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 bloops. And it was like a cute little end of 90s TV show type situation. And I'm like, Drag Race does not have to be awkward and uncomfortable. These moments where the girls maybe don't know their lines, they could just do quick cuts of all of them not knowing them. And then everyone just comes out with a good edit.
Yeah. No,
Crazy.
I get that, where it's like it shows that it is a progress,
Mhm.
but or it is like a progression, but
Mhm.
not making it like linger on the like clown music, like
Burn, burn.
standing there
burn.
looking stupid.
Our runway category this week is, and we'll get into the actual production of these in a second. The runway category is What Lies Beneath. I normally really hate reveal runways,
Yes.
but I like this one quite a bit. I don't know why this one.
because it was
really-
them.
It was them. I think
Because
so.
they did it.
Yeah. Do you have any particular standouts from this?
I mean, yes.
Jada is like doing
I-
all four seasons.
I was gonna say Jada, because even if I don't necessarily love the winter spring looks to death,
Right.
the summer fall looks,
Summer and fall are so
and just the way
good.
she moved and transitioned through them, regardless of how I feel about the first two, I think she probably had my favorite of the night, just because like she did it so strong, so fluid,
And she left nothing on the ground except maybe like one hat.
Yeah, it was very like sleek kunti, which I loved. And I loved the styling of the last two. Like that summer look, especially that striped, like
It's
green
gorgeous.
summer dress.
It's Hot Tropics from All Star
Yes.
6.
This actually is it zebra? Is it green zebra?
It looks like a zebra
It's
pattern.
like zebra that goes into like almost like the optical illusion, like
Oh, yeah,
because it
yeah,
like
yeah.
it like tightens and then like broadens. It's so fascinating. But
I love how
and
fluid fall is.
yes, into like the fall, like with like a breeze like around her. Ugh.
And it doesn't look heavy. Like all of those other outfits are underneath it, but you don't notice them.
With yes,
How do you
yes.
construct this? That's brilliant.
How does she do it?
Jada's everything. Um, I really also I liked Viv's a lot. I think that Viv was really stunning with this sort of Into the Woods storyline. She looks really sleek and clean. It's not like the most dramatic reveal, but also I don't necessarily mind too much.
The reveal into blue,
Her color that she never uses.
iconic, hilarious. Um, no, I do actually really enjoy hers.
Uh-huh.
And then I think also Monet's is really cool.
Monet's is very powerful. Very powerful.
Very powerful and very well done.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sometimes I think when you're delivering a message, like, it doesn't always have to be, like, aesthetically flawless. Because I think sometimes the message is more important than the aesthetic in those cases.
Right.
But when you're delivering a message and you also look bomb as hell,
Right.
it's a win-win-win.
Absolutely.
And it was also really, like, technically well done, I thought. And I thought she looked really nice and clean.
I agree. Can I be hateful?
Be hateful. Is it about Roger?
No, it's
Oh.
about Jinx.
Oh.
I really hated these looks. The silhouette and shape on all of them is just a little bit off. And then this hair that's sort of Jimbo's Shirley Temple with the flat press right in the middle.
I hate this poodle hair. It's giving me like when it's like the like kind of like flat finger wave ish on the top, and then the little like afro-y almost on the sides.
Chad Michaels.
It's giving me like you should have like I'm picturing like a Rooster's girlfriend type character from Annie, like blonde hair, like a blacked out tooth, like super high pitched voice, like white toothpick woman. Like, you know, that's what this hair gives me.
It looks like she stuck her hand on top of the wig to hold it down as she was styling it, and then came off of it and realized that all the volume came off the middle, but couldn't do anything about it at that point. And then, like, what is the silhouette of this last garment? I like the leg, but then it cuts off right at the top of the foot.
It's rough. I honestly only personally like the is the first look Monet that she's doing?
I didn't
Because it's
write down what
water
they
lilies.
were.
I think the first look is water lilies. Yeah, by Monet, I think. But I wish the hair was different with it.
Yeah.
And then I don't personally love the pop art dress. It was giving me the Andy Warhol ball flashbacks, like
Totally.
for real. For real.
For real.
And also, yeah, I just don't love it. That's so fair. You're fair for that.
Yeah. Did you not like Raja's?
No, I was prepared for you not to like it.
Oh,
Just
it's very
JIC.
different for Raja's package, which is kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
And I like that it's something new. I mean, is it her best look? No.
No.
It's probably her weakest look of her entire package.
Yeah.
But like that's saying something because her package is so good. And this is like not bad at all.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting color storyline for Raja because we don't normally see her in this intense of a flamingo color.
Does it make sense to say I could see her wearing this on season 3?
I could see it as well.
Especially the flamingo part, like the
Totally.
reveal,
Uh-huh.
especially like the final look. That feels like something she could have worn on season 3.
If there was a Lollapalooza in season 3, Raja
Yeah.
could have worn that look and probably would have like dominated. It's just the headpiece would have come off.
Yeah.
So I'll do some really quick breakdowns of the actual performances because that is shown next, and then we can share our opinions.
Yes.
So Shay does the Shakedown.
Yeah.
Really fun branding name. I complained about this and I told you it was coming. She does the exhausted waitress, the
Oh
up,
yeah.
down. And this is pervasive through the remainder of Drag Race's history.
Something shifted.
Something shifted in this moment because they do
Something
it
has
in
changed
Canada
within
versus the
me.
world. I remember they did it during Tongue Pop. They
Yeah.
do it again in
UK. Tamara
UK.
Thomas is obsessed with that
Tamara is
move.
obsessed. All the girlies do this. I feel like I saw Virgo do it in the most recent season of
Oh,
Canada. Like everybody does the exhausted waitress. And I think who did I complain about that started it first? It was someone in UK3, I feel like. Someone started it there.
you
And Shay
mentioned the
brought it.
exhausted
I
waitress.
did. I brought it up and I remember it happened in the UK3. That's where I first saw it. Because Pouty Baby first started in UK1 from Crystal. I don't remember who did it in 3, but someone did it and then Shay popularized it. So maybe it was Blue. Maybe it was Blue in Versus the World.
Oh, I could see
perhaps.
that. I could see that.
I thought her entire performance was really solid. She did a good job at branding herself.
I thought it was solid. I think it lacked. Well, it's hard because it's not like it was necessarily asked of, but just seeing how some of the other people did it, it could have used a humor or something to kind of like bring you in a little bit more.
Just a smidge.
This felt like I had already paid like $4.99 to her like Patreon or something because I
Right.
am already a fan,
Yeah.
and she already knew I was a fan.
Right.
It lacked the like. That's such like a hard critique though, but I feel like
It's very that though.
that's like the hard part of these challenges though, is it needs to have like
A little tongue in
I
cheek.
think that's what I was trying to say earlier of like when the reason these dances get popularized is because they're to a popular song. That I just ended it at RuPaul shade, but I think I meant like they happen kind of organically because there has to be something to bring you in. Because I think we're so naturally like critical of new things. So like it's just like a random like person like assuming you're gonna want to do this dance and telling you how to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's such a hard sell compared to like having some sort of reason to entice you to want to do it, which usually organically in social media world is a trending song like Apple that you already are listening to or are hearing and you're like, oh yeah, I want to do the dance to that.
I think kind of zoning in on what you're saying, I almost feel like Shay's problem is she was too earnest with it. Shay was like, I'm going to teach you how to do a quick, easy dance.
Well, she
like,
did a 5-minute meal.
Sandra Lee. She was Sandra Lee giving you a semi-homemade cooking. And it wasn't like Rachel Ray saying, look at all these tops and no bottoms. That's no fun at any party.
Do you know what it was? If this was a top model challenge, Shay would have won.
Oh, totally.
She would have been first pick.
First photo.
Because she was super professional, super clean, super quick, super concise. It felt very much like the top model way to do it.
Yeah.
Where it's like we want like a flawless, like no miss.
That's been Shay all
to the
season.
Camera.
Yeah.
Very clean, very like very that.
Yeah, that's been Shay's problem all season. She's doing the challenge too much like a real competition and not what Drag Race requires, which is to always do something a little extra and something a little stupid.
Yeah.
Jada incorporated a lot of her catchphrases, include "look over there" at the very end. I thought it was cute, but it wasn't like super memorable to me.
Yeah.
Viv does a Vivio, which I thought was great marketing, and she basically doesn't dance at all.
No.
She like oils up the pit crew and touches their nipples and like eats food with them and just rubs them for like half of her Vivio.
Yeah.
I kind of lived for it.
In its own way, it was fierce.
In its own way. And I'll get to it in a minute. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I kind of love that she just didn't do the challenge. She was like, I'm going to do what I want because I don't dance.
Well, because her character wouldn't. So it's definitely like if you're letting them be them, she definitely did it in her way. Yeah. I respect that.
I did a challenge in one of the competitions I was in, and it was a dancing one. Yeah. And I got Oops, I Did It Again. And they wanted at least like 10 seconds of the exact choreography. And I don't dance. I have no rhythm, like with dancing that way. So I played an over-enthusiastic, like 16-year-old Britney Spears fan.
Yeah.
And I like went in an oversized t-shirt and like pigtails in the hair and like did fake dancing to it. Like I was dancing to her music video in my bedroom. And like that's how I tackled the challenge. And I
Period.
love that Viv like just did this. Well, that's not really my tea, so I'm gonna do it how I would. I
Yeah.
loved that. I don't know. Raja did this like auntie Zumba hot yoga. We're gonna meditate and do some personal affirmations. I thought it was very Raja.
2 a.m. TikTok.
2 a.m. TikTok. The like old lady with the crystals that's like,
Go out
Hi.
in nature.
Yeah. Go and charge your crystals, kids. Very that tea, and I lived. Evie did this very cute, like oddball thing.
Yeah.
It was a complicated dance, though. I don't think I could ever recreate it.
Talk about a challenge.
She
Talk
challenged
about
herself.
a dance challenge.
Evie said, "I know there's a challenge, but what if I make it harder?"
Yeah. A 5, 6, 7, 8.
Bum, 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 bum. But I mean, she looked really cute, and to look at Lollipop having the snacks in the sleeves and like you're eating your snacks, I thought that was
It was a
cute.
fun visual moment.
Jinx also kind of did what Viv did and chooses to not do it. She like starts out with that Maria guitar moment.
Peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter. I'm so obsessed with that moment. That all these like adults sitting like Von Trapp children around her. She peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter. Hello, everyone.
All right, mommy's working.
Like so like weirdly like Von Trapp like
Yeah.
but Snowpiercer, but like it was crazy. But I thought it was so funny.
And if your adult son wants a snack, he can get a job. It was so lunatic.
Yeah,
behavior.
it was. I thought it was so good though.
I loved it. It was really good.
And it was so funny because like, I mean, to the same point of Viv, like obviously she's not going to do an earnest like, here's how you do the boop boop boop, you know.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that she did it in her own direction, in her own way, at her own speed.
Me as well.
And she basically turned it into a comedy challenge.
And I love that. That's
But
how you do it.
If the whole thing is like, is this also like an incognito branding challenge, and your brand is you're a funny MILF?
Yeah.
Then what? Then mission accomplished for her. I think.
Right. It was great branding. And I think a video like that would go viral. And the fact that she was not thinking about viral dancing like TikTok, she's thinking viral like Vine, because if she's a MILF, she's going to be thinking about the old app that she's more familiar with, and YouTube, and Glozell blowing up over the cinnamon challenge.
Yeah.
Really intelligent mind of a mastermind kind of thing with Jinx. Because like a lot of the younger queens who have a younger POV are thinking TikTok, virality, the girlies that go on and do like a silly little dance and teach people something while dancing to whatever the top 40 song is of the week. Thought it was really smart. Monet does a dance for when you get paid, but I thought her story was all over the place. I thought the dance was really good, but my own, like, this is my little axe to grind with it. Monet didn't think about this idea on her own. She had an entirely different idea, and Rue gave her the, like, throw in change and then the, like, money thing, like, get bitch better have my money.
Yeah.
That was all Rue's idea.
Fair.
And I think it's great that she listened. That's how you win Drag Race, is by listening to Rue, but it wasn't her branding.
Yeah.
Someone else had to come up with it for her. It's very much giving the girlies that come onto Drag Race with this beautiful dress, like Rosé, that they would never wear on their own, but somebody else made it for them, so they wear it. And it's like, is this authentically you?
Well, yeah.
You know?
Well, and I think like she definitely, it benefited her to be guided in the right direction. Because it's funny, because I think that this is something that does work for her and does come naturally to her, because I think she is a more finger on the pulse queen.
Right.
And so, as opposed to Jinx or Viv, where obviously they're not going to do this, she's someone that it doesn't feel as weird for her to try and do like a dance trend or like relate in that way. But I do kind of see what you mean. Like, I guess I could see that like the Whereas other girlies, the beef of it was in the story and what they were telling with the moves.
Mm-hmm.
The story was kind of just like a backseat to get to, oh, here's the slay choreo. Because the
Exactly.
choreo is really the highlight of it, which is
Right.
she is one of the few though, where I feel like she had really like easy, like learnable, dancey, fun choreo.
I remember it still.
I think she like nailed that part of the challenge the most. Whereas I think that Jinx nailed more of the like branding and like actual like talking part of the
Yeah.
challenge.
The dances I remember are Shay and Monet.
Oh,
Exhausted
yeah.
Waitress. And then
How can you forget that?
yeah, I mean, you can't forget those. The other dances I could never repeat a single move, even though some of them maybe were better branded.
You don't
They
want to
were
bust down to Evie's on the regular?
whatever that like little cat move
The
was.
feral cat, yeah.
Um, Trinity does another kind of tucking tutorial
Yeah.
type situation,
She did.
but during yeah, she definitely did do that. During rehearsal, they've got tape, but in the final product, they didn't have tape.
We were miming,
Did-
mime tucking.
Did they run out? Or like,
Were
did
they
the boys
like-
go, we're not doing this? Standards of
They're
practice
like, we
was
don't
no
want. We're
penises.
like, please don't pull their dick out and start taping it back. Like, we're not going to give you any ideas.
That's for another channel, you know.
That's
you got to
for
pay the
Patreon.
premium. Exactly. And then she did do her famous line, "Girl, I live." I'm gonna quote that forever.
I feel like she should have done something with her ass jiggle.
She should have.
That famous ass shake she does in the lip syncs.
Yeah.
I feel like she should have done like the how to shake your
groove thing.
your injection.
Your injections. Shake your injectables.
Shake how to shake your silicone. How to shake your what are those? They're not injections. They're implants. How to shake your implants.
Have I told you that story? Sorry, this is NSFW. So I went to go hook up with this guy one time and he didn't tell me he had butt implants. And he was on his stomach and I went to go spank him and it went boom, thud.
Whoa.
And I was like, what? Because I'd never ever experienced like implants. But you think about it, if you get implants in your butt, they have to be hard, right? So that if you sit on them, they don't pop. So I'm like subtly trying to like feel it. And I could feel a brick of silicone on his butt.
Oh no, mama.
Oh yeah, it was very jarring.
That's
I had
wild.
to leave. I
I've
was
never
like,
felt silicone before.
I've not felt like a ton of it. I remember I had a friend who had cheek implants,
Yeah.
and like it just sort of feels squishy.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I would totally get my lips done if I could. I'd come in with
Oh,
those
yeah.
Alaska lips. But
I'm all for it. I'm like not anti plastic surgery at all. I support anyone doing what they want. I like get like really easily freaked out by like body things.
oh yeah,
I think I would like get paranoid knowing there's a foreign, because even sometimes if I think about my piercings too long, I get a little weirded out.
yeah.
I'm like, I kind of hate this.
Yeah.
I want to take it out.
Right. No, I feel that.
So I feel like if I had something below the surface, what lies
What
beneath?
lies beneath? Okay, come on, segue. You better segue back.
But knowing what lies beneath, like laying at night being like, there's like a little bag of plastic in my butt.
Yeah.
And like I would probably like touch it and I would feel it. Because I'm such like a I would like play with it like a fidget spinner.
You have to, I think, play with the stuff that in your cheeks.
Okay, but then that would be terrible because I try not to anymore because dirt stuff, but I do touch my face a lot and I play with like my beard a lot. If I had face implants, I would literally be moving that around.
Yeah.
That would be bad news. I'd be looking crazy.
And when it gets cold,
or even
and
even
it
if-
dissolves after a while.
Oh my god! Even if I got Botox, I would constantly be pushing my. I could never. I'd be pressing my forehead and like looking in the mirror, like, huh, like furrowing my brow and like pressing it
Right.
and like trying to like squeeze it. Like, I would go crazy.
I saw this video recently of like top 5 celebrities who ruined their face from too much surgery. You know who was on there? Lisa Rinna. And they like showed her old face and her current one, and they were like, she ruined her image by getting too much work. And I'm like, I don't know. She's kind of iconic with all
feel
that
like
work.
she is her work.
Yeah.
her body of work.
Her brand is that face.
The green M&M with her face.
Yes.
That's the thing, though, is like, it's one thing if you look like nothing, like how they call them, like cat lady, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Lisa Rinna looks like Lisa Rinna.
Totally.
Like, she didn't get plastic surgery and become like Uncanny Valley or like create like wild face. Like, the mug
became
is
her.
stamped.
Yeah.
The mug is
The
stamped.
mug is stamped.
It's even like Cher, like with the work Cher's gotten done, like she looks like Cher.
Yeah, if she
That's
didn't have
that's
it.
that Cher mug.
Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, it's time to give out our stars. I didn't want to get ahead of myself,
Yeah.
but now I'm going to. So
Get
the
ahead.
two
Get ahead.
that I'm going to, despite not liking her runway at all, I'm obviously giving it to Jinx because I think
Yeah.
branding wise, she did
Peanut
it.
butter, peanut butter, peanut butter.
And I mean, it
peanut
was
butter.
so funny, subverting the challenge entirely and going in a completely different direction. Like, I don't dance, so I'm not going to force a dance. And the other person I'm giving it to is someone who also subverted the challenge, but I really love their runway. I'm giving it to Viv. I have barely given Viv any flowers all season, but she's turning it out for me in the last bit of the season. I love that she doesn't dance either, so she just played with the pit crew's nipples and sniffed their armpits and ate a snack.
Period.
Like, that's great. That's brilliant.
I love it.
You better work, Viv. And then her runway.
Better work.
It was so good.
And them doing that spoken word lip sync actually would have been so fierce.
It would have been everything because their storyline had been building. So who do you got?
So predictable tea, Jinx again,
Okay.
peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter.
It's too good.
So good. And I do see your critiques and I do hold space for them, but
Just a little tiny tip of finger.
do but also what I said earlier of like, I think that there's someone who nailed each facet of this challenge, and that I think Jinx and Viv both are what you're saying. They nailed the branding part.
Yeah.
Because I said earlier, I feel like this is an incognito branding challenge.
Right.
And I mean, like Jada did that, and I mean Raja did that. But
Right.
like in terms of making it watchable, viral, funny, they nailed that part of it. But then if we're looking at like the dance challenge part of it, I
Right.
think that Monet and Shay really nailed it.
Totally.
And then I look at the runway and I look at the overall thing, and I just like, I have to go with the predictable judging, and I do agree with Monet getting a win, which is crazy because I've given Monet a lot this season.
Monet's done really well.
I'm like sleeper Monation, I guess. I think that's why her fan base is called Monation.
They might be. Monation is good. But you know what? It's so funny because Monet got like almost no producer favoritism, but she was that girl through a lot of the season.
And also, like, I think she's a really cool, like, genuine example of someone who is a star and just like gets better with time, like, and resource, because like you see her on 10 and it's like, that is the same person. She's just as funny. She's just as good of a performer. She's just as everything. I mean, same for like someone like Mo as well. But
Alexis
it's like,
Mateo.
I mean, there's like so many of those girlies where it's like they've never changed, but every time they come back, they have developed more resources and had more opportunities.
Yeah.
So they're just a better, more fully realized version of themselves.
More polished.
Yeah. And so like she's one of those people, and I just love that for her. And I think, she just like really showed that this season. So I'm like kind of surprised I've given her so many, but I'm also not surprised.
So valid. The lip sync is the first ever spoken word lip sync.
And also, we've not gotten another spoken word lip sync since then, right?
Not one.
Which is crazy because
There's so many.
we could even get spoken at this point. We should just be meta and have spoken word lip syncs of Drag Race moments.
Totally.
Hey, put your lighters up. Ganja's in the house. Ow. Like, could you imagine?
And the lip sync starts and it's like, so can you explain your outfit? Well, after a long night of hooking, Trey didn't like the session, so he had gutted me.
Or like, actually, the person who I think should go home tonight is me. I would like to, because I don't want to be here. Whatever she says, like that
I
Chanel
nominate myself
to go home tonight, because
the way I knew you were talking about Chanel and not.
I nominate myself to go
Vendela.
home.
Yes.
Because I don't want to be here.
This is your moment.
Have
Have it. The
it.
stage is yours. There's so many that they could do and be super meta. But yeah, this was really iconic. The night the lights went out in Georgia from Designing Women. They were both really good. And it was kind of like very close between them. Monet
Yeah.
was doing this very intense performance through the whole thing, and then
Yeah.
Jinx was kind of bringing comedy and having all these different levels to it.
Yeah.
And they were so neck and neck. It was like, who gets it? They
Yeah.
were easily both won. So
Yeah.
like Monet is the winner. She chooses to block Raja finally. And Raja's like kind of low-key happy about
The
this.
secret of the
She
plunger
needed to know.
unlocked.
The last one to find out, and she was so upset in episode 10, walking in and just pointing not even like acknowledging them first, going straight up to the mirror, adjusting her hair, looking at her mug, turning around and pointing the plunger at them. Cunts.
Cunts.
So good. And the word that you've already used, organic.
Yes.
It was so organically just wonderful storyline. It was so good. Our episode 10 challenge is the Kennedy Davenport Center Honors Hall of Shade. Mouthful.
Mouthful of an episode.
It is a roast challenge, and the drag gods are back with the balloons so that they can hump the pit crew to figure out what order they're going to go in. I actually really liked that. I thought it was cute. I like these little confetti challenges. And then seeing each one of them sort of like caress the pit crew and then like ram them. Or like Jinx, who just was like, Can you do it for me? Can you turn around?
Do it for me, Steve.
So let's go through these really quick. Wintergreen is here, which I think is
Incredible.
everything. Our number one is Raja opening up the set. One of her lines was about how she took an Uber and they had more stars than Shay. They're just really rubbing in like, Shay, you're not going to the finale and it's okay. And I almost feel bad for her at this point with how much they're leaning in.
Right.
She was funny.
She was.
Evie does this joke where she says, Monet, you're my favorite winner of All Stars 4.
That was so funny. I actually thought Evie did really good this week.
She did really good.
I was really a fan of Evie this week.
I liked her read about Jinx saying, and then Jinx went and got some plastic surgery. She got her hairline done. And I love that she thought, yes, this is the problem. And Jinx just losing her mind, like, how dare you?
Crazy.
I thought Shay was very cute and silly. You can tell her energy is tanked. Like, she just seems so, I'm just going to have a good time. I'm not going to win. And it is what it is. I'm actually surprised of all the contestants that Shay was the one who got the center storyline. Maybe it was because they already knew she was making top 4 out of nowhere, but I'm sure all the girls were feeling a certain type of way that they might not go to the finale. But Shay was the only one who got storyline of, I am genuinely so upset and disturbed that this is not happening for me.
Yeah. Interesting, right?
Right. And there are at least 3 other girls who are not going to the finale, but none of them really got storyline about that. Jinx was hysterical. She recycles her dick and coke joke again from Snatch Game, but does it about Evie.
Yes.
And then about Trinity, she let her last boyfriend down easy. She said, let's just be cousins.
Ruthless.
Ruthless. She had Rue doing the wheezy laughing. Just when you get Rue
In shambles.
in Naomi Shambles, when you have her doing that, you know you already won.
True.
Trinity was very funny.
Trinity was very good, yeah.
Especially considering that her previous 2 roasts were the bane of her entire Drag Race existence. Like, they're cringe levels of hell. She was very funny
Yeah.
this week. Monet was cute. I love that she did the joke, Jade Essence Hall, the essence of beauty, the teeth of a baby. That was evil. That was so evil.
So good. It's just, and I love little stuff like that where it's like, that's from the brain, fresh. That's not a recycled joke. That's not
Right.
like a BMW or something like that where it's like a known joke. Like I just
Yeah.
love random stuff like that where it's like you just were thinking about that because you're hateful.
You took their brand, flipped it, and then made it mean. It's so good. Jada trips up a lot and keeps messing up her jokes. Again,
Yeah.
solidifying Drag Race doesn't have to be cringe.
I know because it still was actually like fun. Like
Yeah.
she was so funny and charismatic and charming through it all that it was not awful watch.
And they
And
don't do the cuts. They're like, psh.
it could have been edited like hell on earth, but it was not
Totally.
that bad.
Proving that it doesn't have to be. That they can find humor in
A
anything.
PSA.
A PSA Drag Race. I know producers that you're listening. Please stop making Drag
Taking
Race
notes.
cringy. Take your notes. Write it down. And then Viv.
Funny.
She was very funny. I loved all her setups. And then I loved her. My favorite thing in any roast is when someone before them was bad and then come out and they're like, it's going to be hard to be that funny. How am I going to stand up to that set? That was so good. I love that shit.
It establishes a little bit of immediate hatefulness. And
Yeah.
I love it.
It's really good. And then our runway is all glowed up. We talked about this when Mo did it in UK versus the world.
Oh,
And I thought,
yeah.
do you think they were like, oh my God, this is great because we're about to do this in the US? Mo, keep the lights off. Do you have that? Yeah. We just want to test it.
Yeah,
We
we're
need
gonna
to
see
know
how
what our
this
levels need
goes.
to be. We're going to send it over to the States.
Yeah.
And this is the runway where allegedly, when Raja came out, Rue was yelling, Raja, what the fuck? What the fuck, Raja? What the fuck? Like, was living for it. And then cut it all out. And Raja was really disappointed that it didn't make the edit because Rue was like standing up screaming.
Could you imagine? Girl, that's what we deserve.
Seeing RuPaul in her glamorous top and sweats, standing up yelling at a drag queen, like in a positive way. I
Yeah.
could not imagine. Who are your standouts from this week?
Roger, Roger, Roger.
It's so good.
My favorite on the runway is Raja and well, I love Evie. I don't love the teeth, but I love Evie's, and I love also remember because this year we saw Willow's mushroom look.
Yeah.
So we got two different mushroom looks from the same family in the same year, but two totally different interpretations.
I really loved Evie's interpretation of this. And
Yeah.
again, like you said, two mushroom looks from the same family. I thought that was really sweet, even if it wasn't necessarily planned.
Yeah.
I love that.
I also I love that was Seattle Jinx RuPaul. I was channeling RuPaul.
Oh my God.
Her runway carried into her lip sync for your life look. She had
Being
this
Goody Proctor.
She had this theme of Salem witch trials happening tonight.
She's fully leaning into the witchy thing this season, and I
Yeah.
kind of live for it. I thought that Shay looked like the missing Pixie from Pixie Hollow.
Oh, okay.
She was
Hers
really
was
cute.
pretty fierce.
Yeah,
Very clean. It was giving me Disney Parade for real.
totally. Trinity was giving me Main Street Electrical.
Oh,
It was totally. What is that? MEP. It was MSEP.
Mistress Isabel Pooks.
Yeah. I thought too, not that it was a standout, but just that I thought it was fun. Viv looked like Sailor Moon Eternal. Like it was totally Eternal Sailor Moon, and I love that with the little bus driver wig. Rue announces after this week, All Stars rules are suspended. There's no more blocks. No one is getting blocked. And I think this really kind of shakes everybody up. Because they're like, ooh, wait, what's going to happen tonight then?
Yeah.
How is this going to go?
What now what?
Right.
Especially because, I mean, some girlies are feeling defeated.
They were absolutely feeling defeat. Let's give our stars out really quick before we move on. I think I'm going to be boring, and I'm giving it to Jinx and Trinity because they were both so funny. And I mean, I haven't really given a lot of love to Trinity. I haven't really given a lot of love to Jada either, to be honest. But yeah, Jinx and Trinity are getting it for me this week. I think, especially the fact that Trinity really broke out of her curse. There's some girls that come back for All Stars and they just never learned from their last time.
Some girls never learn.
They never do. They were bad in Snatch Game the first time. They come back for All Stars and they're bad again. They were bad in acting and they're bad again. Trinity was like, all right, 2 times. We're not going to make it 3.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great. And then Jinx is just, it's Jinx.
Yeah.
I really want to give a star to Jada, but I just can't.
Oh, you haven't given Jada
I gave
any.
Jada 1 in week 7. I don't remember which one that was, but week 7 I gave her 1. What about you?
Okay, so my first star is definitely Jinx. No doubt about it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now I'm going back and forth between a lot of people. I have a production pick and I have like 2 more like genuine picks.
Okay.
So the people I'm going back and forth between Viv, Roger, and honestly Evie.
I mean, I did like Evie a lot.
So here's what I'm saying. Roger, I think I'm swaying against it because I'm already telling you. Next week, the talent extravaganza.
Right.
Roger is getting the star she deserved from the beginning.
Yes.
And so I feel fine not giving it to her this week because I know I'm going to give it to her next week.
Right.
So a little bit of production there. Viv, I know this would be a good chance for me to give her a star because I wouldn't really give her a star in another time. However, the runway didn't click for me.
Yeah.
Now we get to Evie. Love the runway.
Yeah.
And I actually thought that she did quite good.
She was charming.
She was charming. And I think that she's kind of like she's an unsuspecting force in like stand-up.
Yeah.
Because with the other stand-up challenge we had this season with her, she was also really good. Her like little thing about failing.
Yeah, I gave her a win and then I changed your mind about that. Because you weren't going to give it to her. I incepted you again.
Yeah. So I do love that about her.
Yeah.
And so I just because like I feel like the win she got in the actual show, am I correct in saying that was her only badge was the girl group challenge?
She got girl group and yes, I think so. It was just girl group. But then she got a spare.
She got not the spare.
She got a spare. I think it was Roger that gave it to her.
She got a spare. So I feel like that was such a random one that I feel fine giving her random ones.
Yeah.
And so I'm going back and forth because I love the runway. Yeah. I mean, obviously if I was just gonna reward the runway, I'll give it to Roger. But I'm giving it to her next week. So it's between Viv and Evie, but let's be crazy and let's do something weird. And I'm gonna give it to I'm gonna give it to Evie also because I like to see balance.
Yeah.
And I would be in the interest of at least giving Evie a lot of positive affirmation if I was a judge and I was there, and I would want to let her know that I see her and she's doing great.
She really is.
So
she's doing very good.
Evie, I see you.
Evie, we love you. I know you're listening.
Yeah.
Our top 2 of the week are Jinx and Trinity. They lip sync again to King and Queens by Eva Max. I love the girls on the side being so bored. This is the second time they've not
I was
lived.
so bored. Gia Gunn.
Jinx wins, and I gotta say, Trinity did not know a single word of this.
Yeah, she's like, Ava Max.
I don't know who that is, but girl, I don't know what she's saying, but girl, I'm living. Rue announces that next week, no one is being blocked, and it's the final challenge to win stars. And Shay is sort of like, she just looks like she's going to cry. She wants to walk out. She's even asking, do I have to be here? Can I just go home? Can I just leave? Because I don't want to be here anymore. I feel bad for her. And I wonder if maybe that's why she got such a heavy storyline.
Yeah.
They wanted us to have a sympathetic top 4 that they did nothing with, which was so weird.
Yeah. Weird.
The final challenge is the Drag Race Gives Back Variety Extravaganza. And they have to do a variety show. There's a little Tic Tac lunch. And they also mention that the winner of the variety show is getting a 30K donation to a charity of their choice.
Love.
This is where they workshop the charity season.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we could have done that this whole season.
Right? Literally.
That would have actually been a cool twist. Whoever wins the lip sync can block, but also a charity of their choice gets money.
That
That would have been fun. So let's talk about these because the Tic Tac lunches, it really wasn't that special. I don't think it was really anything to write home about.
No.
And then we can give our opinions. Trinity does this like original song about being country as a biscuit. It was so mid.
I just had the strawberry biscuits from Popeyes for the first time. Have you ever had them?
No.
Whoa, they go crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's like somewhere between like a biscuit, a Cinnabon, and like a strawberry like donut.
Ooh, that sounds so good. I'd risk it all. I can't have gluten, but I'd risk it all for that.
You would die, but it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I can eat a little bit. I'll just feel really tired afterwards. And I'll
be
in pain. Oh yeah, but it'd be worth it.
Yeah.
Evie does this thing where the pit crew comes out dressed as her and they're wheeling out a box and then Evie comes out of the box.
Yes, that was fun.
Her audio mixing was a little weird, I will say. I don't know if it was her production or the Drag Race ones, but her voice was so quiet compared to the music.
Yeah.
But I love that it was just Evie. It was cute.
I'm also like, even if that's the mix itself, do y'all not fix that in post?
Right?
Like, can't y'all bring the vocals up in post to make it more balanced?
Truly. Because I could barely hear her.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just a me problem,
It's
but
annoying.
Jada, I love that of all the queens that incorporate all of their catchphrases through their entire run on the show, Jada does it in such an earnest and honest way. It doesn't feel like soak it up, soak it up,
Yeah.
soak it up, girl, soak one up.
Yeah.
Like it feels just genuine.
Brown cow stunning.
Brown cow stunning. Are you brown cow stunning? She mentioned starting with some Fosse. And I was like, yes! Tapping my fingers together like Anna King. It was so cute. She
Very
ate
smart.
it up. And then the hoodies with Dino Daddy on them. Loved that.
I will always watch Jada perform and I'll always be seated.
Yeah, she's so great. Jinx does a live singing. I hate when queens deep throat the mic or put it in their mouth. Like, don't put that shit in there. There's somebody else who has to talk into that, and they're going to smell your breath on it. And I think that's so nasty. I remember one of the girlies that I was performing with deep-throated the mic and then, like, didn't clean it, didn't wipe it off or anything, and just, like, left it on the stage. So when the host went to go pick it back up, she's like, can I get a new mic, please? This is wet. And then some bar bitch had to come over and swap them out.
Get her new mic mess.
It's gross. I don't like it. Shay does this beautiful song. This song is my religion, can I say? When it like opens and she's like, ooh, all the lights are down. I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
What a moment.
Yeah. So good.
It is very good.
It's hot too.
Yeah.
Where she's in this like curly, like pulled off to the side hair and then dancing with the pit crew with that like jacket on. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Very city seduction.
Yeah. It was hot. It was so hot. Raja does a Bali dance and it was very, very special and beautiful. What is up with Drag Race and these cultural dances that it goes, we don't see her.
And it's so crazy because they love to exploit you for a cultural moment.
Totally.
But if you actually want to celebrate it on your terms, it's like, fun, cool, thanks for sharing.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Oh, wow. Neat.
I lived for this performance.
It's so good. And like, oh God, it's so good.
You can tell how special it is to Raja.
Yeah.
And how important it is to her. And yeah, these cultural moments that are so significant to a queen that they just don't celebrate at all. I would fully be crying if I was sitting in that audience. Like if I was one of those judges, I'd be sobbing. Be
I
like, this is
know.
so
Well,
beautiful.
because it's so powerful and like I don't know things like that. Like I always get very emotional watching stuff like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
watching Gia's because like we don't
Mm,
really have a lot of mediums like that
right.
in our culture. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like
Not in the States.
and but I am very fascinated in these sort of like non-verbal like expressions of like emotion and story and like even just like listening to like the soundtrack of Raja's, there's such an expressive like soundtrack and like
Yeah.
it's so like moving and like powerful. I love it. I would watch it for hours.
See, now listening to what you just said, now I'm like seeing a little lines and seeing red too. Cause like culturally here in the States, I think the only like cultural thing we have is like ballroom dancing, maybe, and
Yeah.
like tap, you know,
Yeah.
like vaudevillian, big band type inspo.
Yeah.
And when the girlies do that on Drag Race, like Susie tap dancing,
Yeah.
totally gets recognized
Yeah.
because it's kind of funny and
Mm,
silly. But then when these girls come on and share these beautiful moments of their culture,
yeah.
Nymphia, Gia, Raja,
Yeah.
Dust.
Because I just feel like we don't know how to appreciate that because we don't have something like that.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess we have like ballet.
Sure, but I mean, even then, I don't think Rue appreciates it. I think she gets
Yeah.
bored. Didn't Camden do
Yeah,
ballet? And Rue
exactly.
was
And
like,
they
I kind of
she
get
thinks it's
bored.
boring. So maybe that's what it is Rue just thinks that kind of stuff is boring. But like I think that sort of like storytelling and like expressive dance is just so like fascinating. And because I don't see it
Hmm.
in the States ever, I think it's extra interesting.
Remember preseason like 9, Rue used to get on the girls all the time for not giving enough heart, not
Yeah.
giving enough earnesty, not enough vulnerability and realness.
Yeah.
To the point where it almost became a meme. Like Jan was memeing it in All Star 6. Like that's a versatility or that's a vulnerability that judges are looking for. But now it's like if you try to be vulnerable, if you try to be real, like Susie and Jules, they say earnesty has no place on this stage.
Yeah.
Like,
They're like they want you to be like a clown and like fall in the whoopie pie and like fart and like
right. Like Rue yelling at Magnolia for many different reasons, but saying you got to get people to like you.
yeah.
Do you think like I don't know, girls like that who Rue would bark at for not being vulnerable enough, maybe they would actually like make it past early out these days because they're not taking themselves too seriously, like they're being silly.
Yeah.
But like they used to very much value earnesty back then.
But now that the machine has changed.
Right. Viv does another song, Bitch on Heels. I think she sounded amazing, but it was
Yeah.
sort of like low key compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
But I thought she looked great. And then Monet. Monet.
Mona
I
Shout.
think we were expecting All Stars 4 level singing, and I think the girls were
People
too.
hating on the cover.
When she dropped that first note and it flashes to Carson and his mouth drops,
Yeah.
like you can hear the cartoon anvil sound of
Or
Carson's jaw hitting.
Yeah. Literally.
She gagged everyone in the world in that moment.
Yeah.
The wind was sucked out of that room.
It's like a surreal moment. It's like otherworldly.
yeah.
Because it's such a gorgeous performance already, but her being in full drag with that deep bass or like baritone, I don't know,
Baritone.
baritone voice,
I think.
doing this like like unclockable like classical performance. It's so good. It's so like subversive and like the magic of drag. Like I love it.
It's so beautiful. There's no runway this week, which I gotta just complain for a moment and say I'm really bummed about that. Monet for the lip sync comes out in her promo look from season 10.
Yes, she does.
I thought that was so good. I kind of wish that it was a redemption runway. Like,
Ah,
final runway of the season before the final episode. Redo your outfit that you were not proud of. Give us your fashion fail redone.
yeah.
Because, like, that would have been such a cool moment to see something that Monet maybe wasn't so confident about from 10 and then have her come out in her promo look from 10 for the lip sync. I would have loved to have seen Jinx redo like Sugar Ball. And I mean,
Yeah.
Raja could just update one of her looks, maybe like the American one.
Yeah.
since, I mean, she did a Native American look and that got a lot of heat back then.
Yeah.
Or, you know, Viv, I think maybe doing, what was the one that made her in the bottom? The Off to the Races
Off to the
one.
races. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's so many looks. Jada could have updated her purple and made it even more extravagant, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It would have been cool to have seen
No,
that.
that would have been fierce.
So now's the moment where we give out our final stars. We're giving out 3. And I think you and I are on the same wavelength. It's Raja and Monet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nobody else. Shay was brilliant, I gotta say.
Amazing.
She was so good, and I loved that song. It literally gives me chills. I can recite it from top to bottom. And I had a Twitch friend who played that on loop, like for literally like a 4-hour stream, and just kept playing it again and again. So like,
Period.
you know, it's special for me. But I mean, Raja's was so beautiful, so important and so significant. And then Monet was just everything.
No, I agree. I agree. I agree. And I've given Monet so many already, but I like, you can't, like, it's one of the strongest moments of the whole season.
Truly.
Honestly, both of them for me,
Yeah.
it's 2 of the highlights of the entire all winners season.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I feel like the highlights of the show are like everything that Jinx did and then these 2 moments.
Yeah.
I mean, most of what Raja did too, but like what I remember when I think about this season is like the Satch game from Jinx and then like these freaking talent show performances. But honestly, especially Monet's, it's just so like, it's like, I don't know, especially because we usually don't hold space for classical art on Drag Race. But it was just like such like a like pin drop moment on which you like don't really get like that on Drag Race either. It was such like a serious tone that the show rarely holds space for
Or celebrates.
Yeah.
It gets excited about. Yeah, it was good. So right now, I'm going to Ivana Vamp while you do your math totals. And then you can Ivana Vamp for me while you do math and everything.
Of course.
So we've got our definitive top 4, which are called as Jinx, Monet, and definitive top 3 are called as Jinx, Monet, and Shay. And then there's going to be a tie between Jaida and Trinity. Monet has the most stars, so she gets to choose the other top 4 member.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like this was such a producer moment because Rue easily could have picked. Rue easily could have said, the other one that I've decided based off of their track record through the season is going to be this person. It would have probably been Trinity.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like this moment here was them really solidifying the twinner thing and setting up this storyline.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it was written in the stars that Trinity was not going to win because she was choosing Monet over the competition. And Drag Race doesn't like clicks. They try to reaffirm that clicks are bad all the time.
Yeah.
And reinforce this idea, like, don't get involved in them. And I almost feel like this was a device to, like, alternatively punish Monet as well for picking the click. And I wonder, in a tinfoil hat theory, if Monet had said, I won with Trinity and I really love her, but I'm going to pick Jada because she's really shown up this season and done a gag, could maybe Monet have won? Because it would have been, oh, she at the last minute chose not to go with the click.
Yeah.
So we're rewarding her because she was fair.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I wonder in some tinfoil hat universe, because they really like to harp in on these clicks are bad thing.
Yeah.
Shay comes out of nowhere at the end of this whole season and swoops in. She starts out high and then they don't do anything with her.
No.
So then to get a win at the very end, it almost feels a little like, huh? To me.
Yeah, but it's funny because it goes with, I guess, like her storyline, because she's been so like the Home Alone face of her, like, oh my God, like,
Not Scarlet.
no, because like at first it was like a joke that like she was kind of struggling, and then it became like, oh, like I'm like this, and it's so funny because there's also fully people like Evie who are like also like kind of pulling behind, but they're just like being a good sport about it.
Yeah.
But like it was so central to what was happening with Shay. I think just because of the expectation that she was going to eat and that she was going to be front runner diva.
Yeah.
But yeah, it went from like being like a haha, like the season's going on and Shay's not doing well, to like, wow, Shay's like not slaying this. Like it kind of became more of like a gag than like a joke. It stopped being funny.
Right.
So I feel like, I don't know, it kind of made sense like for Shay to get that, but it definitely does feel like in consideration of the whole season.
You know, according to my track record scores, it still would have been a tie between Trinity and someone, but it would have been Trinity and Shay. And I think it could have gone either way. But from my scoring, my definitive top 3 are Raja, Jinx, and Monet. Monet being in second because of the 3 stars. And then Trinity and Shay are tied for whatever the 4th is going to be. And I don't know who I would give it to between the 2 of them. And I think it's interesting that it's both the season 9 girlies that are tied for me.
Oh,
What are yours? What's your scoring?
So
Final scores.
in first place with a total of 7 stars is Mona Assange. I guess I am a Monet stan.
You're a Monet stan.
And on this day I was a Monet stan. So we have 7 for Monet in first place. In second place is Raja with 6 stars. Third place, Jinx, 4 stars.
Okay.
And actually pretty definitive, because the other 4 girls in tied for 5th are all 2 stars each.
Oh, okay.
But with 3 stars is Jada Essence Hall.
Jada Essence motherfucking Hall.
So yeah,
Period.
Monet, Jinx, Raja, Jada.
I'm so into that too. Can I tell you, Raja has 8 stars for me. I counted it 3 times because I was like, what? 8? There's no way I gave her 8.
4. Oh my god, top 8.
She only was not in the top 2 episode 1, 4, 6, 9, and 10.
I mean, I think that's how a lot of the internet felt watching Raja this season. Was like, she's eating. Why is she not getting acknowledged?
Yes, she was dog walking everyone. I'm like, God damn, Raja, you really came out here and demolished.
That's why she was the queen. If she done already had hers is.
They felt bad. They were like, we need to give her something. Our final lip sync before the lip sync SmackDown is to Supernova. And it's Shay and Monet. Such a better version than what Mo and Blue gave us.
Such an upgrade, yeah. It was so good. Them doing this synchronized choreo.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, I loved it.
Rue announces that the finale is going to be a top 4 Lollapalooza, and there will be a bottom 4 Lollapalooza. And up until this point, the other 4 were like, okay, we can go home now.
Yeah.
Only to find out that they also get a chance to win some money. And Rue says, and the cash prize will be $49,000. And Michelle pulls out $1,000 from her titty and is like, okay, I'm in.
So stupid, but I also love it.
I was here for it. It was silly. So we got our finale episode. Our queens, I feel like of the girlies that are here from my group, I think that the top 2, if I'm judging based off of my own personal tastes,
Yeah.
I feel like top 2 would probably be Raja and Monet, with Monet winning. And then if she already had hers, it would probably be Evie winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's production, I think Jinx was always going to win. I think it probably would have been Jinx and Raja if this was them, you know?
Yeah.
Who wins from yours?
Well, see, no, this is so tricky because I have Jada Essence Hall, who's such a strong lip syncer, but we had Shea Coulee in the actual finale, and
True.
Shea lost to Jinx, apparently.
Allegedly.
So it's so hard because obviously I can say what I think would happen, but I mean, what happened in reality was that Jinx won over Shea Coulee to a Lady Gaga song. So you never know.
What's your fantasy, though?
My fantasy would be probably a Monet and Raja top two. As much as I love Jinx, although I see Jinx as winner of winners.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny because like I do see her as that, like
Right.
more than I necessarily see some of the other options.
Totally.
But I think just looking at like at how actually like things played out,
Mm-hmm.
although I think the ends justify the means for
Totally.
Jinx, I think like looking at the means like abstract, I see it for other girls, you know what I mean?
Totally.
But I think the end result made sense, felt correct. Don't contest it.
Totally.
But it's just like when we're talking about like in the moment, not looking at the final picture, how we're
Mm-hmm.
judging it, how we'd pick them,
Right.
etc. You know?
Yeah, I see that. For this final runway, we've got grand finale Eleganza.
Extravaganza.
Estranja Malma.
Mother
This was
darling.
so underwhelming. Can I say?
It's hard because I feel like they've turned out such crazy shit all season that
Yeah.
like this is the runway on a regular season that you give the kind of looks that they've kind of been giving the entire show.
Yeah. My standout of all standouts, Raja Gemini.
Roger.
Raja's the only one. This like alien mantis queen is the only look on that runway. Jada looks beautiful. I really, really, really love this fringe.
Love Jada's, yeah.
And then everything else is sort of like, okay.
Yeah, well, because it's so funny because I actually don't like the top fours.
No, I
Like
hate
I like the
Jinx's.
bottom fours a lot more than the top fours.
Totally. Evie's is cute.
I hate I don't like Trinity's. I don't like Monet's. I don't like Jinx's. I like Shay's.
I like the idea of shit.
But I don't like Shay's for a finale gown.
Yeah, it's very cute for like an entrance look.
Because to me, the bottom four all are giving finale in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Like
celebratory.
Yeah, Jada, Raja, Viv, Evie, they're all giving me their own finale extravaganza. I think my favorite is I agree, probably Raja. I actually really like Evie's. It's silly, stupid fun, but
Evie's is really
also
cute.
honestly, it's so like classic. I really like Viv's.
It's very
and
pretty.
Jada's. You already said Jada's, so
Yeah.
I agree with that. But in addition to who hasn't been said, seeing her in just like that all black, I was like, damn, Viv looks good.
And she wanted to go in an opposite direction from her original finale, which was very light and voluminous.
Yes.
And this one's a little sleeker and dark.
Yes.
Yeah, I do want to say, I think that Viv's original finale hair from season 1, that like scoop up thing with all the volume.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
That's the most beautiful hair I've ever seen on Drag Race ever. When I think of like drag queen wigs, it's Viv's finale.
That finale look is also just a really great, like clean, beautiful look.
Mm-hmm. Probably one of the best, in my opinion. Okay, so we have, oh shoot, my entire notes scooted down to the next weeks.
So
I'm like, La Big Bertha. We're not ready to talk about her. What do you think about this playlist for this final extravaganza?
I really hope we get Judas again because that's such a major song, and reserving it for a Lollapalooza like this felt a little underwhelming.
Totally.
I also think Swish Swish is not the finale song.
It should have been Judas.
Yes.
Or they could have freaking done Swish Swish this last week for 11 and then freaking done Supernova again for the finale.
Oh, that
Two
Supernova would have been good. Or even Swish Swish for the freaking like what's it called? She'd already had hers.
Totally.
I mean, I think it's funny because the She Done Already Done Had Hers was a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like RuPaul picked the songs or something. And then the lip sync for the win was a lot more serious pop, but it was also like not of a specific era because we got like an early 2010s, we got a late 2010s, like we got Katie, we got Gaga. What was the other one? What did the Twinners lip sync to? Oh, So What
So
by
What?
Pink.
Yeah,
Literally, what a random spread of songs.
totally. I mean, this whole Lollapalooza's got a weird spread. We'll go
Yeah.
through these really quick. Evie looked really cute in the 90s outfit for She Done
Yeah.
Already Done Had Hers. And then that cherry red lip, she looked tasty. Like, she looked gorgeous. The pit crew comes out with like 2 boxes. Do you think it was the adrenaline effect that they had the same songs in them?
Adrenaline. Yeah.
I
I
feel like
mean,
they had
ever
to
since
have.
we said that, I can't not see it.
Same, and I can't help but feel like the ball is always set up to land on a specific queen, or like that the wheel is set to land on a specific
Certain.
queen.
Yeah.
Like there's some type of magnet in it or
Something's
something,
gonna, yeah.
you know? Um, it's Viv and Evie first. It lands on Viv first and then Evie. I can't help but feel like they wanted Viv out first, which lends more to my theory that we talked about last week that Viv would have been first out in any reality because she was first out here as well. I don't think producers wanted a non-American to win the first all winners season or even like to get like she done already done had hers is. Um, they get Push It by Salt and Peppa.
So good.
Such a good song.
Ooh, baby, baby.
Way better for Evie than it was for Viv though.
Oh, so clearly. Because also it's the perfect recipe for Evie of like kind of like how when she did Live in La Vida Loca.
Yeah.
A kind of earnest song with weird little like
Weird beats.
something that she can get into the funk of.
Yeah. And she embraces her funk. She does. She embraces the funk. I really feel like Evie was going like 200 miles an hour and she did
Yeah.
not need to go that fast.
No.
Because Viv was like, Viv was like carpool lane, like going like a solid 55 in the carpool lane. And Evie swerved around her. She could have gone half speed
No.
and still
No,
beaten Viv.
Evie was feeling like that trope of like, can I finally do this now? Can I do this now?
Can I do
And
it?
they're like, okay, yeah, you can finally do it. And they're like, yeah, and then they go and do their thing.
Yeah.
Like she's Dash from The Incredibles, and she's finally getting to like
Yes.
to zoom all over. Like,
And she looks so happy.
no, yeah, because I think she's finally in an environment where she can just like let loose, perform, have fun,
Let
be
loose.
her. Let loose. But yeah, and also like less pressure.
Totally. I loved her performance through this week. Raja and Jada are next, and they lip sync to Let's Hear It for the Boy by Denise Williams. And Michelle, like, legit lost her mind when they announced the song. It was so cute.
She was living for it.
Raja kind of turned it up.
Raja kind of turned it up. Also, just her gesturing to let's hear it for the
Pointing at Jada.
It's so stupid, but so funny. Let's hear it for the boy.
Why did she eat her up so hard?
I mean, it was just like when she did. That Super Freak was like a lane of its own.
Totally.
But like, it's
This
that
was-
thing of like she was so weirdly plugged in.
Yeah. This was, do, 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 and do, do,
Yeah,
do,
straight
do.
up.
Straight up. Yeah, yeah. I was like, what is this? It was straight up. It was fully that. And it was like, you did not have to eat up Carmen like that. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah,
It was hot.
she goes for it.
She really went for it. And Raja's in, Jada's out. So then it transitions to top 4 while the bottom 2 or the top 2 of the other girls are changing. Which I think was
Yes.
cute.
Yes,
The wheel lands on Jinx and then the spin lands on Shay. And I was like, oh, Jinx is cooked. It's
right.
over.
You think?
They, I think, really wanted to snipe off one of the twinners. Because I think Jinx could have beaten Trinity again. But I
Yeah.
think they certainly wanted to make sure that the twinners went at it.
Yeah.
Again, really enforcing this idea. And I know it's tinfoil hat theory. I feel like they really wanted to just show clicks are bad. This is not good. You know? Even if they didn't overtly say it. They lip sync to Judas by Lady Gaga. And I will always be mad that they cut out that ew.
Ow.
Why did we get that cut? That's the best part of that song. And to see Jinx articulate whatever that ew was,
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen that. I'm still
It
mad.
probably was funny. Unless they like missed it, but I doubt it. I'm sure they were in on it.
Yeah. So what do you think about this conversation that Shay lost because she did the Judas choreography?
Okay, well, do you remember on 3, they like
Phoenix.
Phoenix
Yes.
for doing the Gaga choreo.
The Bad Romance, and they did the cut of, who was it? Was it Mariah or something?
No, it was India.
India. Right. You can't just copy the song. You have to
Yeah.
do it your way.
You have to make it your own, yeah.
Totally.
But it's funny because I feel like nowadays... Oh, well, okay. I
Babes.
have no problem with it.
Right.
I
You.
thought it was fierce.
Para you.
We,
We.
as a community, celebrated Morphine Love Dion doing the Megan Thee Stallion body choreography as it is.
Yeah. And if you were in a nightclub, you would lose your mind over that.
And that's the thing. Is like, I feel like that's part of like the celebration of culture. It's like, if you do the choreography from start to finish, that's one thing. But I feel like, especially when it's
is that not impressive? Is that not impressive for a drag queen who's corseted and in tights and pads to do full choreography? I think that's impressive to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, obviously, like, okay. And also, is it a cop-out to do the choreography? Because not everyone can do the choreography.
No.
So if you take the time to learn, remember, and perform the choreography as it is, that is a skill.
Totally.
Even if it's provided to you, because it's no different than queens taking, like, choreography from, like, K-pop or, like, from other places they see it and just copying and pasting it to the song they're doing.
Or the Exhausted Waitress.
The Exhausted Waitress, of course. But yeah, like, I think you shouldn't be penalized for doing the choreography as long as you don't do it from start to finish.
Sure.
Like, in its entirety, like, just the performance of the song, like it was a stage performance of it. But I feel like there's a part of our culture where it's like, doesn't every gay boy want to like learn the choreo to the diva song and then like perform it?
Thank you.
Like, I feel like that is part of like the fantasy.
Yes. And I think they both were great. But a lot of people were like, oh, Shay lost because Rue doesn't know that that's Gaga's choreography. But it was still impressive even if Rue didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah, and like, who cares? It was cool.
Yeah.
I like to see it.
I just don't like that narrative. Oh, she lost because she did the choreography. Is that why?
No.
Or is it because they wanted Jinx to win?
Did she lose because she was against Jinx Monsoon?
Thank you, T. Jinx wins that one. And then we get Trinity and Monet to So What by Pink. What do you think about Pink?
Love Pink.
I have been waiting for like a solid year and a half since we started podcasting to ask you that question.
What do you think of Pink? She's fine.
Drag Pink. I just don't like her. I think she's a bad seed. On this earth.
Calling her a bad seed is crazy.
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
You know, I think you probably know this because you grew up in a household that really loved Michael Jackson. Your brother and sister both loved. There's this old interview of Michael being talking about touring. And he's like, oh, I hate touring. Every time that I go in there, I just want to die. It's so exhausting and I put my heart into it, but it's just the worst and so tiring. Do you want to say something nice about touring? I love to tour. And I remember everybody on that Love Pink video being like, Thorgy really studied Michael so much for her Snatch game that Thorgy became Michael.
Oh my God.
And did that with the Pink.
I love to tour.
It's the same energy. It's the same thing. I hate it. It's just a bad seed. Say something nice. Love her. So good. I love Thorgy Thor. Anyways, Monet chewed and swallowed. I mean, Trinity was really never going to win against her.
Yeah.
Can I be hateful?
Be.
Do you remember Spin Me Round when she was that old lady with the boobs?
Oh, God.
Trinity was giving the same energy
without
the boobs.
The old man, the old boobs.
The old people boobs. Because what was that costume? What was the little bus driver wig?
It was strange.
It was just bad decisions all around. I did not understand.
Monet said apparently she like fake humped Trinity a lot longer than they showed. She said she like took a break to like smoke a cigarette, like fake smoke a cigarette or something, but they didn't show it.
I'm certain. But, like, what is this? She looks like she's a church lady choir leader or something.
A church lady choir that's gonna reveal into a Pokemon leader.
Trinity the Tuck brought out Magikarp, and it flopped. Carp. Yeah. Then we get the She Done Already Done Had Hers' finale lip sync. It's Eevee versus Raja.
Sisters.
I surely thought Raja was going to lose. Sisters Doing It For Themselves is a good song. Eevee did her Carol Brady wig again, but it was in blue.
The Carol Brady in blue.
The wigs fake out slip up to it like coming back in the wig
Yeah,
cap. With another wig underneath.
Wig
So good.
It's so funny. I feel like it was almost like it didn't pay off because almost everyone stopped looking at her when her wig fell off.
Yeah.
That they didn't even realize that it was intentional.
Totally.
It was so weird because there was the response to the wig loss, but there was no response to it was a fake out.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
I think she lingered on the bald cap too long. I think maybe that was the problem. Like, she made it a moment and it translated to TV. But
if
I don't
she
think the
just like
judges
did like a
noticed.
quick like, oops, no, JK, take it off.
Raja, I think, did this like groovy thing that made her win. Plus, like, they had to give her an award for doing so well all season.
All right.
But also, she looks so good too.
True.
This last look that she's in, I just really want to bring attention to Roger in this very last look because she looks freaking delicious in this little like Ariana Grande white, with the little hoodie.
Yes, pop queen
with the boots. Ooh. And then we get our final lip sync, Jinx and Monet to Swish Swish. Underwhelming for a finale.
Yeah,
Underwhelming.
I hate a Katy Perry song for the finale.
Katy?
Flossing for the lip sync for the crown.
I could not believe. I loved Monet doing that voguing.
Yeah.
Oh, with the duck walk. Bitch, she ate up Jinx so hard. And there's rumors that Jinx fully stopped lip syncing to watch Monet lip sync.
Wow.
And I know that Jinx was on the radar to win, but I still can't believe it. The lip sync for the crown matters until it doesn't. And this was a moment where it didn't matter.
It's the way she won for a tiger looks down. That was the highlight of the lip sync for her. Was wearing cheetah print and saying a tiger looking down, being like, wait, what?
I really loved the slightly out of sync pickup audio of Rue saying, and your performance through the whole season.
They're like, wait, did you get the audio of her saying that in the moment? Oh, fuck. Okay, Rue, we need this audio of you saying this now.
Monet won the lip sync, so Rue, you're going to need to go in after the fact and do a pickup. Because she's like, ladies, based off of the lip sync and your final season, you are going to win this much money. Girl. Rigomoris. I never say Rigomoris. I don't like Drag Race is rigged as a conversation. But this was, like, very clearly that.
Well, it's just tricky because, like, lip sync for the crown, like, is not necessarily a lip sync for the crown.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like, final lip sync, but the stakes of, like, the win aren't tied to this lip sync.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, needs to be the new frontier. Like, we need to say, like... Like, before we crown our winner, I'd like to see one last lip sync, like one victory lap from you both. Like, give me your best performance before I choose my winner. Like, don't say like the lip sync for the crown because it makes it sound like
it's got more stakes and more weight.
It's lip sync for the win, lip sync for your life, where it's just down to this performance, no outside stakes. This decides the outcome.
Right. And for the winner of all winners, you kind of need to take in the whole season.
Yeah.
It really should just be ceremonial.
But it's like, it's hard because when it's Carmen Farala as the cat left in the rain, revealing into her wet wig, then it's like, okay, now that's a lip sync for the win.
Right.
But then when we're, you know,
here,
not when we're here now in this moment together experiencing this, it's a different phenomenon.
Yeah. Or in UK versus the World 2, where people say that in even the finale one that Hannah beat Tia, you know,
Ooh.
these moments where the final lip sync really is weighted on, like this is for all of the marbles. If you win this lip sync, you win the whole thing. But
Yeah.
then it's all season evaluation is really what it boils down to. Jinx wins, and I think that Jinx is great. But what upset me and still upsets me now as a viewer is through she had hers and the winner lip syncs.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a scepter and a little speech from RuPaul. You did great all season. We're proud of you. This was the stamp that you left on Drag Race, and we're so proud that you did it.
Yeah.
Everyone gets that
Yeah.
except Monet Exchange.
Sucks.
They literally do, Jinx, you're the winner. And I know that they film the finale a certain way, but they do, Jinx, you're the winner. Everybody celebrate. Yay,
Yeah.
I win it for Hecate. And then there's a little flash of a camera where a pit crew member hands a scepter to Monet. She goes, oh, I get one too, as the music's playing.
But it's like,
And it
even
ends.
if they had gotten an, I don't know,
They
like
should
a
have recorded.
confessional or
Yeah.
something where they had edited it different.
Mhm.
Whereas, like, even while celebrating, it's like, even though I didn't get the win, I'm so proud of all I've done. I've shown I'm a superstar, blah, blah, blah. And then cutting back to the winner.
Yeah.
Like, something, but I get what you mean.
Or even just recording both of them getting a loser speech
Well, because
that
if,
they could edit in.
Because if Monet had won and Jinx hadn't got any acknowledgement all season, like, that wouldn't have flown.
Yeah. But nobody talks about how Monet got snubbed really hard. Like, not even for the win, but just on an editing level.
She didn't really get to have her victory lap moment.
No, she didn't get to have a thanks for making an impact on Drag Race.
Yeah.
It felt kind of disrespectful
I see what you mean.
because everybody else got one,
Yeah.
but not Monet.
Not her.
It felt bad. Any controversial opinions about this season?
I wouldn't say controversial. I feel like because there wasn't much of an agenda this season, the
Right.
editing felt very straightforward and like what was presented felt very straightforward. I don't know.
For me, kind of on that similar vein, I don't necessarily always turn up and live for storylines on Drag Race, but
Yeah.
I understand that it's a TV show. So
Yeah.
I do want some level of storytelling happening. And there wasn't really much of one. Like, the editing is very straightforward. Shay is pushed very early, like this is a front runner, but then gets no attention because she
Yeah.
keeps getting bum rolls and straight man rolls. And then in the last second, she turns up and is
Yeah.
the end game player. Viv and Jinx, about midway through the competition, start having this feud. And
Yeah.
it's back and forth between them. Who is better, Viv or Jinx? And then that goes nowhere. The Twinners get a pretty long storyline all season. It's, them whispering in corners and everybody knows that the alliance is there, but no one acknowledging it.
Yeah.
And then in the finale, nothing about that. Just pairing them up head to head, 0-1 and done.
Yeah.
One of them wins, the other one gets zero acknowledgement about their strategy to get there. And I almost I love this season because it feels very celebratory of drag, but also it's so lacking in a through line. And every story they tee up, they go nowhere with it.
Yeah.
It's Ellie and Lawrence all over again, but with every single contestant.
Oh, totally.
They're teed up with whatever the story is, but when it gets time where they could lip sync together and have their moment, they don't do it. It just goes away.
Yeah.
And it just ceases to exist.
Yeah.
It's kind of unsatisfactory as a viewer.
Unsatisfactory.
Unsatisfactory. I would have loved a little more like this moment where I gave the win to Jinx and Viv and then could have lip synced to that spoken word. And that could have been the end of their drama because that would have been the last time that anyone would have been blocked.
Yeah.
And that would have been the moment. The Twinners maybe getting a little more storyline in the last episode. And then maybe Shay just doesn't make the finale.
Yeah.
And her storyline is that she tried really, really hard. Maybe when she already had hers. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my controversial take.
That makes sense. No, I get what you mean. Circling back, I've thought of one which is you can make a good season of Drag Race without making any queen look bad.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Totally agree.
You don't need a villain. You don't need a heel. You don't need
Yeah.
someone who's going to be a punching bag. Like, you can make an entertaining season while still celebrating everyone, and the natural quirks and flaws will come through in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't have to be like, like, as a collective, shit on this queen or this performance or this moment, you know?
Let's dump on this human being who's trying to celebrate their art.
Yeah.
I hear that. And I agree. And I mentioned it many times this entire recording. Drag Race doesn't have to be cringe.
Doesn't have to be cringe.
And we see it in season 9 of All Stars as well. They celebrate so many of those queens flubs, even when they were doing so bad. The lip syncing dress could have been the most uncomfortable thing in the world. And it was.
Yeah.
But the judges didn't make a big deal about it. So it just leaves us to have our own dissonance about it.
Yes.
And every season could be like that. These moments where queens are flubbing so hard in a challenge don't need a...
Cut from 3 different girls talking about how bad she's doing.
Exactly.
Cut to 3 different judges.
Making faces.
Awkward audience reactions. Like, yeah. We can just like keep it moving and just focus on the good.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, agreed.
That Drag Race, I think this season solidifies, is not about being an authentic competition. It's about being TV. To me. Ooh. That is the end. Any wrap up thoughts about All Star 7?
One of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, just like in terms of a comfort season, I think this is one of the best comfort seasons. If you don't really want, like, I think if you love Drag Race, this is the comfort season. If you love like reality TV, there's different seasons. If you love competition TV, there's other seasons. But if you love Drag Race, and you love Drag Race queens, like, I feel like this is a comfort season. And 6.
Yes.
I feel like this is one of those definite comfort. And 2, 6.
12 for me is a comfort season.
Season 12, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those seasons I can just put on in the background.
I think non-All-Stars, because usually for me, I find All-Stars more comforting than mainline.
Totally.
Regular season 3 is my comfort season, regardless of how crazy it continues to age. But 3 is really my comfort, and 7, honestly. I know people still hate 7, but 7 is such a comfort season.
It's so good. If we were to get an all winners too.
Okay.
Who do you want to see? Give me 8 girls.
8 New York girls.
8 New York girls.
Okay.
And it could be anybody, even girls that probably wouldn't come back.
How quickly I can rattle these off and get a concise group.
Okay.
Envy Peru. Aquaria. I really don't want Sasha there. I think Sasha should live in posterity at Velour. I think she should just stay. Honestly, both of them. I feel like both of them should live in posterity as the slave versions of them that they are. I'm gonna say okay. Who won 13? Simone. Honestly, yeah. Envy Peru, Simone. Aquaria.
That's 3.
That is 3. Alaska. Even though they're never gonna ask her.
No.
Don't understand. Bob. They wouldn't ask. No.
You can pick anybody, even if they wouldn't be asked.
Shay.
Again?
Oh, no. Well, because she was on All Winners, so that's kind of hard. Or wait. Oh, yeah, duh. Shay. I was like...
She was just on.
I was just like, who's on? Who's won? Me. Shay, could you imagine? Wait, Shay becomes the new Ginger. Where it's like, we knew you were on All Winners, but we didn't feel like you had your moment to shine, so they bring Shay back. That's hard. I guess I feel like they're gonna have to do more international now.
Right.
Because also, I don't want to like go into bringing back a bunch of recent US winners. Like, I don't want to go
Mm,
into like, let's bring Nymphia in, like,
sure.
all this so soon. Because, like, Jada's was different because she had her pandemic win and it just didn't, it felt good for her to have another opportunity to compete. But now bringing in recent winners, like, I
There were
don't think
also
it's,
three girls between Jada and this season.
yeah,
There was Simone and Willow and Kylie. So there was enough of a gap.
damn. Okay, yeah. So the other half isn't there yet, but I would definitely say Envy, Aquarius, Simone, and then whoever was the other one I said that wasn't
You
Shay.
said Alaska and Bob.
Oh, Alaska and Bob. So getting there.
Okay.
I feel like they probably would have to pull more international people. There's some people I do want to say that we haven't gotten to yet. I'm
Okay.
gonna say the winner of Sweden,
Okay.
because we haven't gotten to her yet, but I think she would be great. I think she actually would do really good. And I
Mm.
would love to see her judged by RuPaul. So I'm gonna say the winner of Sweden. And then one of the Espana girls, between one or
Oh,
two, if either of them can, if Sharon can speak
she
English.
can. Remember, she did that entire
Oh,
song in English.
girl, let's get Sharon up in here. Okay, so yeah, let's do. Okay, honestly, wait, because
Do you have it?
Bob, Alaska, Aquaria, that's 3 US girls. If I can just get one US girl and I could do 4 US, 4
Uh-huh.
international. Okay, so Bob, Alaska, Aquaria. I'm going between Willow and Violet.
Ooh.
Would Violet say yes? Do you
She
think?
said she would do it.
Okay, then let's do Violet, because Violet and Aquaria are having a fashion off all
Yeah.
season while Alaska and Bob have a comedy off.
Yeah.
So Alaska, Bob, Willow, Violet.
Okay.
Envy, Peru.
Okay.
The winner of Sweden, who you will meet soon enough. Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
And do. Me cringing thinking about Holland. I was like, should I get one of the Holland winners? Oof, no. I
You
mean,
got
like,
Envy.
well, we got Envy, but I
Yeah.
thought about Vanessa, and I'm like, I don't think Vanessa and Envy both. I don't think they can handle.
Yeah.
Could you? That feels
It
weird
feels
having
weird
both
having there.
Holland. I think Envy is the only Holland Holland representation we can suffer at this point,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate for Vanessa because she's slay, but.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who's that last international spot of who we've got? It's got to be Canadian. It's got to be Priyanka.
Okay. I'm here for
Okay, yeah.
Piranha.
Envy, Priyanka, Sharon, and
The Sweden. Is that who you
the
said?
Swedish girl,
Mm-hmm.
and that one Swedish girl. And I actually like that. The 4 US, 4
Yeah.
international.
I'm
half
here for
and
that.
half.
You kind of said similar to me. Okay, so
Only took 30 minutes.
yeah,
to
right.
get there.
From I think for me, from season 7, I'd pick Violet. From season 8, I'd pick Bob. From All Stars 2, Alaska. From All Stars 6, Kylie.
Oh,
From Canada, I would actually pick Giselle Lullaby. I think she could
period.
keep up with the US girls. From España, I'd pick Sharon. I would choose from probably the UK. I think I would choose Danny.
Oh, good.
And then I'm torn between Frankie Wonga from Thailand.
Oh my god.
Because she's a maniac, but I love her. And I think she would kind of fulfill that role. Or doing a surprise international winner, but is a US queen, Raja O'Hara
Oh,
from UK versus, or Canada versus the world one.
that's good. I haven't thought about. Yeah, I feel like I picked a lot of like people we've already seen up until this
Yeah.
point. Oh, there's so many options, honestly, especially with so many more international winners
Right.
too. We've gotten so many good wins over the pond. I feel like we could do an entire like international all winners.
Totally. If we could
Even
figure out who all could speak the same
if we
language.
could. Okay, wait. Humor me.
Mm.
International all winners instead of like Michelle Ross RuPaul kind of setup.
Mm.
It's like 3. It's like Supreme, Nikki, and Brooke or something.
Ooh, a panel of them.
A panel of international hosts.
Okay.
Or like them or like Mama Pow, like
Pangina.
something. Like get like 3 or 4 or even alternate
Ooh, yeah.
of the winners or sorry, of the hosts of international and have a forum of like international winners like Eurovision.
Yeah. I'm so
International.
into that.
I would love it.
That would be really fun. I would love to see something that is more Dragula related where the challenge is the runway and the presentation. Because then you can get girls that maybe don't speak the same language.
Oh, true.
Because it's about their presentation.
Totally.
You could have a translator easy on set.
Yeah.
For anyone who might not be able to do the gaps, ignore the acting challenge, ignore the snatch game. Maybe do a girl group where they lip sync because that transcends language. It's just knowing the choreography and your words, you know? Yeah. I am excited for the potential of it. They're all winners. I feel like it'll all be Rue girls. Like I feel like we'll see Down Under, UK, and US girls. Like I just wonder how non-Rue judged queens would fare like what we saw with Global.
Yeah.
You know? Would they do well?
Tricky.
It troubles my soul. And with both iterations of UK versus the world, you know? But in any case, next week, we are in France 1. France! I've already started France 1.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling a certain way. So next week, we're going to cover the first half of the season. And the following week, we'll do the second half. I'm already nervous to talk about this.
Yeah. It's going to be a rough, because we've been doing a lot of US and a lot of UK, a lot of.
We did España, which was beautiful.
God, yeah. We've been doing Canada. We've been doing a more approachable.
Yeah. We're getting into a run of seasons that are very outside what my normal scope is for Drag Race.
Yeah.
Because I think after France is Philippines 1.
Period.
Which I'm really excited about.
Super excited.
And then I don't remember what's after that. I feel like it's like Sverige or something is right after that. But in any case, thank you all for listening. Thank you for tuning in throughout these weeks. We will chat with you next week for Drag Race France. Remember, you're doing a great job. You're doing the best you can, and that is all you can do. And goodbye.
Bye.